about Samik and my kids and all that. And
Yeah,
then
I remember Samik had just told me that I remember your puppy. He was a puppy then, I think.
yes. And we named him Kazma, but my experience with a little bit that I, interacted with Mansi and worked with her, I really liked the idea of connecting yourself spiritually as well as cosmically, and taking some positive things from it, right? Like my experience was focusing on the positive things that you can do by knowing that knowledge and how you can leverage the better part of it. Because what we have normally seen in India is like the predictions and all that, right? But this was not that. This was more about how can you improve as a person, how can you improve on your qualities, what you need to focus on and build, which was a very positive way. So I like that.
Oh, wonderful, Shilpa. So let us get started. Pranam, everyone. Wonderful to see you all on this Sunday morning. As I was saying before, that Sunday morning for me is very inspired by Oprah's Super Soul Sundays. And it has always been a time for inspiration, of joy, of connection, and of evolution. Quanto Life, most of you know Quanto Life, but Quanto Life is a path that integrates spirituality and quantum physics. It is a community of heroes. We are all in a journey to discover our unique potential, celebrate it, and contribute and add value to the world. And this is what we do, and we encourage and inspire in Quanto Life. And today I'm thrilled to invite my friend, someone I have seen from a very young age, and I have probably not been very intimate with her for many years, but I have followed her on Facebook and other social media, and she was our beauty queen in when we were in 10th grade. And I have seen her go, whether it be pursuing her MBA, coming to States, raising her children. I've followed her updates when she had you all know of Saroj Khan, the famous choreographer, arranging a workshop with her, organizing New Year events. I've seen her own bringing in, festivals with such a traditional touch, not traditional touch, but very rooted in tradition, bringing it for her kids and all. And I've seen her live her life with a lot of work-life balance, with a lot of grace and a lot of beauty. So I've even heard, her stories of her starting a restaurant, and when she ran a restaurant, how she upped the level for, the restaurants around in Seattle. So with a huge open heart and a full applause, I invite Shilpa. So Shilpa, I give your formal introduction now.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much, Mansi, for inviting me on this Quanto Hub, and I thank you for that humble introduction.
Wait, let me give a little more background. So
Sure.
she's also been an IT professional for more than 15 years, and she's, along with being an entrepreneur, she owns a company called Radiance Production that hosts cultural events in Seattle. And growing up, she enjoyed participating in various cultural events in India, whether it be music, dance, drama, sports. And she decided to take that, bring it up a notch, and give that same opportunity to kids and people in her community so that they could show their cultural and creative side. So welcome, Shilpa, to this space.
Thank you,
And
Mansi.
also maybe we can also get to know some spicy secrets of Mansi's early life.
Oh, this is unexpected. This is totally.
Sure, Shilpa, you would know.
This is like googly.
Yeah, I have known Mansi
Just
for
to
like,
have Mansi's college friend. So that's
Cool. Yeah.
We also
yeah,
had another Shilpa, right?
Yes. So actually,
Yeah, she also
Shilpa,
unraveled.
with the,
She also unraveled
what's
few of
her
the
last
secrets.
name? Who's the other Shilpa? Not Ambre. You know the who
Praveen,
had the National Punjab,
no,
the restaurant.
Shilpa Ved. Shilpa Ved.
Shilpa Shetty. Shilpa Ved Shetty.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Shilpa Ved.
Yes.
Shilpa Shetty. Yeah.
you had
Ved
3
Shetty.
Shilpas.
Yes.
No, this is we had many Shilpas.
Yeah, many. Yeah, she was not in our division per se, but she was.
Yeah,
in the,
she was not in our
same.
division. She was in our grade. The same grade, same school, but different division.
Yeah, the Shilpa who's in Art of Living, that what?
No, that is my
Correct.
college. That is Shilpa Shah.
Acha,
That
acha.
I know her. We had a library, na?
College.
Almeida Library. So we used to meet
Acha,
there.
acha.
She's
She
from
is
Xavier.
college. She's not from school, right?
No,
She's not from school. She is from our. We used to have a library,
So
so-called
Shilpa is
library.
that famous Saraswati. What is it?
Have you heard of that
Well,
library? The
I have
Almeida
not only
Library
heard,
near
I have also
Talapalli?
seen your school. And not only heard, but seen also.
No, I know, but I'm asking Shilpa that if
oh,
she knows
yeah,
because
we
did everything but study there. In that
exactly, and I think everyone, our age group are probably older than us would know that. Newer generation, I'm not sure how much now. Probably there will be better libraries, but that was like a go-to library, and yes, nobody really studied there. We would just like.
So it was a reading library. You went there to study. So yeah. Ranju. So yes, we that is Shilpa Shetty, whom you're talking about, and then we have Shilpa Shah from Art of Living. So but today we have Shilpa Gage, whom we love.
So yeah, I have known myself and Mansi go for decades beyond, and she's been a darling. Okay, her secrets about what in school, she was always a studious kid. She was much more studious than I was. I was totally, I think, a lot towards cultural festivals, participating in dances.
Heard, yeah, but we also heard of a scam how she reached the finals of state table tennis or something.
Oh, that she doesn't know. So she knows. So
Yeah.
I was. So Shilpa, what had happened now? Do you know there was this class, this table tennis class, in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
So the thing was, no, I was very bad at table tennis, but the only thing I had was I can take no matter what you do, I will take the ball to the other side. Okay, you can do anything. It will be bad, but I'll take the thing to the other side. And I would get those matkas, like just hit, which really infuriates people. And it was just luck. So I would get those matka shots, right? So when I was in 11th grade, there was this, our team used to be so good, right? The table tennis team in SCS.
Yeah, we had a
I
good
did my
team,
11th, 12th there. So I'll not take names, but the captain of the team did not get along with the woman who was supposed to be on the team, right? So they were like, I don't want her. And he was like, I'll take her because and his thing was, you don't have to win points, but you cannot lose a point. That's how we reached the zonal and state levels in table tennis with only the talent of hitting those matkas.
Oh, that is nice. And so then it can't be matka. It has to be that you are playing good.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe that's why she got the name Mata Matkeshwari.
So
Mata
afterwards,
Matkeshwari.
so she was not there during that time. This is more Almeida Library. So afterwards, I got this name of Matkeshwari because I hit those matka shots.
Oh, okay.
And then she designed the whole fantasy around it. Like Mata Matkeshwari, she would give prasad of, there would be a matka, and in that there will be vada pav. She will bring vada pav and give to all her devotees.
So we have to call Supriya for that, Shiva. We have to call Supriya for that. Many layers different people don't know.
Yeah.
But I was a very shy kid in school. No, I would fall. Like I would be very.
She was,
good.
yeah. I still remember. She was a shy kid in school. She was very studious. Her strongest point was English. She was really good in English. I still remember all the English classes Mansi would ace. And her grammar was like really good, on to the point. So she was a good kid.
Yeah, so Yeah. So, but yeah, Shilpa, please share your journey with us. Really excited.
Sure. So, again, just to sum up my introduction, I'm Shilpa Churi. I live in Seattle, Washington. I have been in US for more than 20 years now. And I'm here to share my story on my journey of my professional career, as well as my entrepreneur ventures, and how I try to, bring some balance between them. I strive, I will say I'm not perfect, but yeah, I try to bring balance between the different aspects of my life. I grew up back in Mumbai, India. Mansi knows it. We were classmates. So I had done my graduation back from Mumbai, from Mulund College of Commerce in Commerce, and then I went on to do my MBA with a major in marketing from Sydenham Institute. I started my career long back in 1998 in advertising. I was working with Lintas, so the little ad of Preeti Zinta, I have worked on that. And then I moved into Times of India, and I was working as a into brand management for Femina and Filmfare. And like thousands other women, I came to US after marriage. It was beautiful, beautiful landscapes, beautiful skyscrapers, and but so were my ambitions. But I couldn't work when I came to US, and I didn't have a visa at that point. And so a little bit about my family. I have two beautiful kids. One of them is in college. Her name is Sachi, and then the second one is in 7th grade. His name is Samik. My husband, Vaibhav Churi, whom I met in my college days, and then been married with him for like 24 years now, but totally, I think I've been with him for 27 years. So yeah, it's been a long journey from there to US, and US journey has been very interesting, I think, and very fulfilling as well. When we came here, I did not have a job. Everything was really nice and beautiful. But then I started feeling that somewhere down the line, after 3 or 4 years, that I am not feeling I'm not feeling fulfilled because I'm not working, or I'm not doing something that I should be doing. By then I had my first child, and so I was like, okay, fine, I should take some time and make sure that I'm with her, because these are crucial years. I didn't want to put her in a babysitting facility. So I took that time with her, and I enjoyed thinking about the positive side of it, that, hey, I'm lucky to be home with my kid and being given that time to her. But somewhere down the line, it was always in my heart that I have finished my master's, but I cannot work. So I started exploring ideas, what I could do. And then at that time, IT was the booming thing. Like, if you want a visa or you want an H1, you need to work in IT. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about IT, so I need to start from scratch. I started some colleges, I started doing some offline courses and all that stuff. And then within that span of time, I had a job. I had not even finished my college, and I started interviewing because I was like, okay, I know I'm not going to get a job because I'm just learning, but what's stopping me from exploring interviews? Like, I'll just go to some random interviews and just get practice. So it was very surprising that I went for my first interview and I got that job. And that's where my career started. And I started at a very, very bottom line into quality testing, and I moved up from there. It's been like, what now, 15 years. I work as a senior manager now in program management with Salesforce. I've been with Salesforce for 4 years. As I started my journey in my career, after 4 or 5 years, I was still not satisfied. I was like, there's something missing more. I don't know what to do, but I need to do something more. I have a lot of energy per se. I am a person who cannot sit in one place. That's for sure. Like, I can't sit idle. So I started thinking. By then my daughter had already moved into she was more in elementary school, like end of elementary, so 5th or 6th grade she was. And I was like, okay, I need to do something more because career is not fulfilling me. I want to have more, something that I can bring my skill sets and things that I'm passionate about. And I love cooking. I really love cooking, and it's my calming therapy. Whenever I'm stressed and I don't know what to do, I'll just take a pot and I'll start cooking something. So I was like, this is something I really enjoy. I also saw that Seattle had a really garbage Indian food, like literally very bad Indian food. I'm like, this is an opportunity. I like something to do, and I can, I can bring really good Indian food to Seattle, and especially the vada paos and chaats and all that. That was like the missing thing in Seattle at that point. So I got together with some of my friends and we started a restaurant. We named it Chopati Chaat, and it was, I think, the best thing that happened to me at that time. And it was really a very different experience, because I had not, like, cooking in house versus running a restaurant is a very, very different ball game. And I started feeling really nice about it, because now I was using my MBA skills that I had learned. I was running a business. I was taking a lot of decisions on day-to-day basis where, I had to think about costs. I had to think about people. I had to think about how this affects different people around me. And it was a beautiful journey. So our restaurant was doing extremely well. It was really a fulfilling path for me. But somewhere down the line, what was happening was I was doing a double job now. I was doing a job in the morning, going to office, doing my 9 to 5 job. And then in the evening, I would come back and I would pick up my entrepreneurial venture, and I used to work in the evening. Slowly, my days got stretched. It's from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and sometimes midnight, especially the weekends. Weekends were no longer my weekends. I would be at the restaurant working with my partners. And this started becoming a pattern. That became a pattern of my life. By then, I had already had my second kid. In this whole journey, I had a very good anchor, though, and that was my husband. Like, he was there with me through and through to support me. And then my parents, my in-laws, everyone. So they say, right, it needs it needs an army to build a village. It's literally that. Like, you can't do everything on your own alone. You need that support system. And I had an excellent support system. But somewhere down the line, I saw that my kids started suffering. They were not getting that mom time with them because I was getting really busy. I mean, I had employed a lot of people, and it was not like I'm physically working there. I have employees to work, but again, when it is your business, you're vested in it. And that started affecting a little bit of my family life. When that started happening, and initially I was in denial, right? Like, I can manage, that's fine, we'll take care. We have a good support system. Everyone is here to support me. And so we kept doing that. But somewhere down the line, I started seeing that, I'm getting a little distance from my kids, because now when they need me, I'm not there. And that started making me feel very uncomfortable. And I started exploring ideas like, how can I do this? Like, how can I, bring balance and start working in a way that I can be a good mom, I can be a good wife, I can be a good entrepreneur. And I started managing my calendar in a way where I could, be there at home. But again, when you are in business and business is your baby, you still are going to get drawn to it at times when you don't want to be drawn to it. I was not being able to take family vacations. And at that point, there came a point where I was like, I need to sit and reprioritize now. I need to sit and rethink what is important to me, because I cannot be everything. As a human, I cannot be a best wife. I cannot be a best mom. I cannot be a best entrepreneur. I cannot be a best career woman. That's not possible humanly. I have to pick what I want to be, and then I have to go from there. So I took a break and I was like, I need to reprioritize this. And at that point in time, I was like, I need to be there for my kids first. I cannot think about bringing good food to Seattle by burning my own house. Like, I need to be there for my kids. And I took a back step at that point. I was like, okay, this has really been really great with good learnings, but I want to because the choice was career or business at that time. And it was a hard choice, because I had worked really hard for both of them. And I'm like, both are dear. What do I let go? I definitely have to prioritize my kids. And for doing that, I have to let one thing go. And at that time, restaurant seemed the right choice because it was taking away all the time of my life. It had no vacations. I couldn't go to India, visit my parents. Anybody who had to be, I would say, oh, why don't you fly back to US? We can spend time here. And they come here and I'm not spending time with them. So that was not working out. So I was like, okay, fine, I will make a choice and I'll let my restaurant go. And I sold off my share of my restaurant. But that restaurant journey was very, very beautiful and a lot of learnings too. One thing I learned very, got rooted me and grounded me was there will be always time that people will discount you and say, oh, they just started it. It's not going to work. Ye thode dino mein band ho jayega. People will be that way. But every time people said that, I would feel very strong to come back and, be very focused on what I did. So focusing on what I did, what was my passion, really helped me stand my ground at that point of time. So the restaurant chapter was done. I started moving on. I started focusing more time on my career. Then I was like, okay, now I don't have a restaurant. So at least I need to make sure I'm moving into my career ladder. And that's where I'm focusing my energy to get me to a level that, where I have been. And then slowly my career started growing a lot. I moved from quality engineering into technical program management, and I started growing in that area. I focused more time again on learning new skill sets in that time frame that I had. I was like, okay, I will learn more skill sets and try and build this into them. But again, I felt something was missing in my life because I was not doing what, yes, I have my passion. I love my career, but other than that, I have a lot of creative side of me, which was not being looked at. And I'm like, this is not working. I'm not just fulfilled doing career. I need that second baby or entrepreneurial venture that I want to work on in tandem with my career, because career is just a followed path, right? Like I'm working hard, I'm growing, but it is a very tried and tested followed path that everybody does. So I want to do something different, and I want to do something that I enjoy, and I want to do something that will bring balance, right? I don't want to kill myself like I did in the restaurant business, but I want to do a business that will still give me time to be with my family, and I feel fulfilled that I'm doing something more than just the tried and tested path. And that's when I started the event management company, because I was feeling that now I really liked the part of bringing community together culturally, connecting everyone and giving that platform to my kids. And like Mansi, right, I've been so much involved from childhood. Like every annual function, you name it, I'll be there. Any drama competition happening, I'll be there. Any speech, debate, anything you name there, I'll be there. So that was my personality. And I was like, again, I will stick to what my passion is, what I know my strength is, and I will go with that. And that's where I started exploring the idea of Radiance. And I was like, okay, if I'm starting an event management company, what different do I do than the other folks? And Seattle does not have that much of a mature, at least at then, that point did not have that much of a mature market of bringing people culturally. There were events happening in isolation, but there was nothing that was like a big bang event that would happen in Seattle. And I saw a gap there. So I was like, okay, this is something that I can explore. And then, so Radiance was formed. We did our first event where we got Falguni Pathak to do Dandiya in Seattle. And that was the first time ever Falguni performed in Seattle, because till then she had never ever come to Seattle. That was the first event. And then we were like, okay, we're bringing families together. We're creating this form of entertainment, but we also need to make sure that we are, again, my focus was clear. I always wanted to do family oriented stuff. I could have gone, there were different more ideas that I could have taken and catered to adult audience only, but that was not my focus. I was like, no, I want to bring something where people can come together as a family. They don't have to think about, oh, I need to put my kid in babysitting. Oh, my child cannot go for this event. It has to be something that is family oriented. So then we started with, we got Saroj Khan to do her dance workshops over here. We started doing small Indian New Year's parties, because that was another market. We realized, oh, everybody wants to go out and celebrate New Year, but there's no forum to do that, because either there are parties that are for youngsters, like teenage or young adults, or there are parties where only like certain age group of adults go, and kids, you like, where do I keep my kids, right? Let's start creating these forums. And that's how, from then on, I started that journey, and touch wood, it's been going great. We did take a break due to COVID, but this year we will be coming back with more events in our, kitty to entertain people. But that has been pretty much my journey. My learnings have been some really profound learnings that I got when I, started on this path of bringing balance. And the biggest thing I learned was, because you have dropped something does not need to be dropped forever. Like, I dropped restaurant because at that time it needed to be done. My priority was different. But that did not stop me from not starting something else. Once things have balanced out, and balance will come, because everything has an up and down, right? Like, when you're up, everything is nice, but it will come down. There will come a balance. You will come back up again. So that has been my biggest, I think, learning, where you say just that because I dropped something doesn't mean I need to drop it forever. I can bring that balance, and I can pick it up again and start thinking on what I want to start, or what I want to do next. That has been a biggest learning. Second has been that don't stop exploring. Like, exploring doesn't mean that you can't do anything, or you need to do anything, but having that ideas run into your head all the time, right? Like, what can I do better? What can I do next? What can I do that is different and bring meaning to what I want to do? So these have been like really nice learnings for me in my journey.
Shilpa, should I share those pictures with your family pictures?
Yeah, you can share them, definitely.
I'll share them now. Okay. Here. So, Shilpa, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to share? So I think this is Cosmo. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's Cosmo. That's Cosmo.
And that's your husband, and your daughter Sachi and Samik. Your husband's name is Web. Your husband's name is
Vaibhav.
Webber, right? Yeah. So let me see.
So I think there's a question in chat does Shilpa own restaurant in Thane? That's not me. That's Shilpa Ved.
Yeah, that's a different
Only
Shilpa.
here in Seattle.
Adi, do I share?
Yeah, sure, if you can. Oh, lovely picture. Is this in Seattle, Shilpa?
Yes, this is in Seattle. This is like 2 days back. We had been for one of the events.
So was this your event?
This was not my event. This was my husband's work event. I don't know if you've heard about Chulili glass garden. It is a garden which has all glass structures in it instead of what do you call plants or flowers. They're actually glass made flowers and glass made trees and plants, and it's very beautiful.
Lovely. Yeah, then please share the other pictures. Yeah, this is our matching pajama Christmas, right? This is a tradition in
That's
USA.
my parents, my mom and my dad. They are in Thane.
Wow, Samik is so tall now.
Super tall. He's taller than me, Mansi, right now. He's just,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And I still treat him like a baby. And he says, I'm taller than you, but you treat me like a baby.
Well, he'll always be your baby.
He will, definitely.
And how's Sachi doing?
She's doing great. She'll be coming this weekend home. So she's doing really nice. She's liking her college. She's doing the courses there.
Yeah, she's in
She's
Purdue,
enjoying.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in Purdue. So she's enjoying her time there.
Does anyone have questions for any questions for Shilpa? There are some comments. Jagrati, Pooja, Amit, please feel free to say it to her in person. Welcome to.
Mansi, may I ask a
Sure. Where was the echo room? And I think Pooja was also saying something. Yeah. Yeah, Pooja.
I don't have questions, so I just want to applaud you, Shilpa. And it's amazing that you followed your heart and you tried different things. I mean, you learned from your experience. It's a full gamut. So it was very inspiring. Kudos to you. It's amazing.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you. Yeah, it's very, I don't know how to put it, but there have been times, Pooja, when there will be people to bring you down. There definitely will be. But again, it's your what I say, anchor around something, right? Where do you anchor yourself to? That is very important, I feel, because and persistency. Like, yeah, if you can fall down, and I have fallen down many times, but getting up and starting again, that is important. And yeah, and then people will start taking you seriously, because then they'll see, oh, we did this and she's still back, and we did this and she's still back. Which, that persistency of keeping doing what you're doing, eventually people will say, okay, now I see that this is going somewhere. This is serious, because I see she's been doing this for a while now. So that means she's serious, because there will be time when people will question your seriousness, when people will question, like, being a woman in restaurant business also, I have learned a lot. I feel there will be, the competition, and then men trying to sometimes emphasize that, oh, this is a male business. Like restaurants, if you see, it is very physical business, and it is a male dominated business. So standing ground in that, and focusing again, my anchor is focus on what I know. I don't care about what people are doing, or who's trying to pull you down or whatever. As long as I know what I am doing, that will keep me afloat. So those have been like really grounding areas for me. And then at night, when I'm coming back, success also brings different things. When you're doing really well, you at that time you feel, oh, I am like something, I'm doing like really well. But coming back home and at night thinking about the groundedness for me, like some identifying those one or two qualities within you, or your values. I will not say qualities, but more of your values, and staying grounded on those values. I think that helps a lot. And that's what I've seen in my entire journey. Like, what is that matters to me? What is my core value? Even when I was just doing job, that would bring me, I would go back to that same thing, that what is my core value? My core value is that, so for me personally, there are two core values. That is, one is trust and one is balance. I always keep going back to that. And when I see my core values moving in any direction that is other than what I'm grounded at, that's when I start working towards bringing that balance back, right? Like, when I was doing my job, I would always feel what my core values were: trust. My core values is balance. Am I having that balance right now in my life? no, I'm not having that balance right now in my life because I'm doing a job, I'm having a family. But for me, this balance is not right because inner wise, I am feeling that I'm not achieving what I want to achieve. My ambitions are much more bigger than what I am today. So then I try to bring that balance back here, right? Like okay, what can I do to bring back that ambition in my life? And then I go back and I start doing something. So I think these have been the grounding values and facts for me. And every day at night, I go back to these values and try to see that have I attained what I want to attain? And if not, then I need to get up and start doing something about it.
And Shilpa, what was that was it by chance or it was deliberate? Like every decision, when you started a restaurant, it was like 100% deliberate or something just you would
100% deliberate, Pooja, in my case. Yeah, 100% deliberate in my case, because like I said, I go back to my core and think, what do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? My job was determined decision. My restaurant was a determined decision. My event management has been a determined decision. My entire career moves that I have done are all determined decisions that I have taken. And does not mean that your decision is going to be right. There will always be a time when you have taken wrong decisions, right? And that's okay. And I totally feel that's okay. You drop something, you pick something, you drop something, you pick something. But when you pick something, you give your 100% in it, right? You will never find, at least I have never found like a steady curve in my life. Like it's not been there, never. I have made a lot of bad decisions, which have affected my businesses. But at that time, I took them because I had certain logic running behind it. And I don't regret them because that was needed to be done in that time. Okay, I failed. That's fine. Failing is okay. What am I going to learn? What did I learn from it? What am I going to do next? That will help you next time not make a bad decision, right? Because now you learned what you did previously, and you will try and learn from it and make the right decisions next time. But there will always be bad decisions done, but don't regret about it. Like I don't. You did it because you had to do it at that point of time.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
You were going to say something? Yeah.
Yes, Mansi, I am mesmerized with the talk, and your sharing it is very authentic. And for me, like budding, what I would call myself a budding entrepreneur, or just who has just started his journey on exploring myself and doing something which is very close to my heart and taking it to a next level. That is what I'm doing right now. I'm into many things, from working in dedicating myself to Quanto life, plus working with youth. We have started a Quanto youth community, and at the same time I'm working myself on myself to learn writing and photography, and integrating both of those things. So I in my life has picked many things and dropped many things, and I was totally resonating with you when you were saying all these things. I what really caught me there was when you said about what you said about core values. So I think it's still there, which it is still something which I really need to ponder upon and to introspect. What are core values? What is my core values? Because you choose relationships based on that. You move out on relationships based on that, and even your work based on that. So I think it's something that's everyone we talk about love languages, but there's also these core values of yourself, which is very you should know. The, like you said, trust and balance is something, and in the night you think that are you working in the same direction or not. I think it was really very helpful for me. and I really loved it. I would really request you to please come on our platforms, and Mansi will tell you all about. Or we are doing so much into Contoverse, especially around entrepreneurship, and we do our inspiring Sundays with Quanto youths, and they'll really enjoy it. And myself, I loved it. I loved it. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here,
Thank
Mansi.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, going back to you picked it, you've dropped it. I'll say what has worked for me, Vaibhav, is exploring, as you see your life goes through, like, different stages, right, of your age, your choices, your at what stage of life you are in, your surroundings, they matter a lot. And with that, what I have figured out is your passions can change. You can develop new passions, right? Like, you can develop something new. You might feel, oh, I have done this passion has been with me for lifelong, but maybe I'm not enjoying it anymore, and that totally happens. At least it has happened with me. And that's where I have picked and dropped things, like, what is my passion at that point of time that I really want to I enjoy. Because again, it's giving your 100%, right, and enjoying it. Because you see, with entrepreneurship, a lot of times what I've seen is people want to pick up on an idea that is trending either, or that is oh, I think this will really work. Why it will work, you don't know. Are you invested in it? You don't know. And if it is not wrapped around with your passion for it, you will not be able to give your 100%. And I have tried this path too. I have picked few areas in business which I felt were, oh, these are money-making ventures. Maybe I should just give it a try. But because I'm not vested in it by heart, I cannot make it work, right? So that's why I say keep exploring. Your passions can change, and you will find that one thing while trying different things, that this is something that I really like, and this is what I want to be with. So yeah, I just keep exploring is what I say every day. I tell my kids also, like, in your classes, explore. This is a time you can, before picking your major, before deciding, oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to do something like this. Take those classes. Take those classes and see if you're really liking it. If you're not liking it, drop it. Pick something that you will like. Again, and then one more thing, like, sometimes trying it before going investing in it is a very better idea. And I learned that through restaurant, right? Like, I love cooking, but cooking at home versus running a restaurant, I did not have any experience in running a restaurant, right? All I knew was I cook fabulous. I love really good food. So I will open a restaurant. Now, there is a key difference there between my skill sets versus what I'm trying to do. Had I taken a part-time job in a restaurant and seen how it worked behind the scenes and then opened a restaurant, my learning path would be shorter. My success path would be faster. Right. So these are the things that you learn with experience in life, right? Like, yeah, I have done, like I said, I have done decisions. I've done bad decisions a lot, but what did I learn out of it and how am I implementing it? So go for it. Just explore. Try something before vesting into it.
Shilpa, some of the things you have said here, I think every budding entrepreneur needs to hear. Especially, so first I want to say, in the beginning when you were talking, and I'm seeing that, I've seen you in some way for a very long time, even maybe from a distance. So I've seen that one of our core quantum philosophies is, to saying yes to life. And I've seen that so many times, you've said yes. It's like you're not quite ready for an interview, but you're like, what I have to lose? It's there. I'm going to say yes to it. Even when you have dropped something, you've said yes to a bigger yes. At that time, the bigger yes was maybe spending time with the kids. Sometimes a bigger yes was, taking that, fulfilling your creative side. So I see that you are a yes person. Like, you are like, okay, if you're saying no means you're actually saying yes to a bigger yes. So I think when I see
think that's a good observation. I never thought about it like this, but it's a good observation.
Because I'm thinking, even in school, it's like dance and this, you're basically saying yes, maybe sports, you're like, okay, maybe I'm not that good, but I'm going to say yes, I'm going to explore it and then see where it takes me. Another thing you said, which I think a lot of maybe young people need to hear, is that, something might be trending, something might seem like this is going to give me money, but if it is not who you are, right, you can only be the best. I think this
Correct,
needs to be
correct.
said 100 times.
No, this happens to me every day, Mansi. I have so many folks approaching me almost every week, like, hey, this is the most trending thing going on. Do you want to partner with me? I'm thinking of starting a business. Do you want to partner with me? And my thought to that has always been that I don't want to open a business, or I don't want to invest in something that is trending, because trends change. And do I really resonate with it? If I'm not resonating, and then they'll say, oh, you can be a sleeping partner, just put in your money, you be a sleeping partner. And I'm like, no, I will not be a sleeping partner again to a cause that I am not resonating with. I can be a sleeping partner, give you money, let you go do your things, but if you're doing something that I really can relate to, or that has been something attached to my core values, then I will invest. Otherwise, I would not. But there are, like, you'll find so many, and especially youngsters, yes, the trending things really. So I'm not against trying it. I'm like, okay, give it a try. Maybe one or two trends you will learn yourself that how much trends work, right? So, I mean, longevity is one thing
Shilpa,
you want to think about.
yeah. And this other thing you said now, where you kind of, you made the best decisions with what you knew then. But the way you say, I could have taken a part-time job at a restaurant, so many times, Shiva has brought this very often, that, people are thinking that, oh, I'm a good cook, I need to open a restaurant, and then when I will have money, I will do that. But, I mean, why don't you just get a part-time job or volunteer there, and it's like you are getting education for free. Actually, it's not you are
Yeah,
volunteering,
that
it's
is what,
actually
right? Like,
uh,
and this you learn through experiences, right, Mansi? Like, I had not thought about it at that time. I was like, oh, I cook fabulous, I can train the chef, and I can make this work. And I made it work, but in that whole process, I had to give a lot, right? Like, there were so many things that I had to compromise on and give a lot to get it to that success area. But I could have really saved on all that time. I could have just taken a part-time job and just done some observation there on how to run a restaurant and then opened it. But I did not do that because I didn't know at that point that this was something I should have done. And after learning from it, I did that with my second venture, right? I tried some mini events first to see really how and what goes behind the back, and then go with a big bang and do like a Falguni Pathak event where 2,500 people turn up. So those are the smaller learnings that you have, but you have to make that mistake first to learn
yes,
it, right?
of
Um,
course.
that's why.
Shiva always says, no, that people who are people who are dreamers and who are bringing in something from the unknown, like you're bringing in unknown, right? You're bringing Falguni Pathak, where this kind of thing has not done in Seattle. You're doing something with Saroj Khan. So when you are constantly going into the unknown, you will make mistakes, right? If you're following a tried and tested, maybe you didn't make as many mistakes in your maybe a set career, है ना? Because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are
And
doing it. So then,
that is why it was not fulfilling for me, right? Because I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
I've
you are
taken
not
this
stepping into
path,
the
which
unknown,
is,
है ना?
yeah, this is a path which is tried and tested. I know I have to give an X amount of an effort, focus on these skill sets, and I will grow in my career, right? That is a known path for me.
Yeah.
But that is why it was not fulfilling path for me, right? Like, I always kept feeling that something is missing. I need to bring something more. So
Wonderful.
it's a learning.
Shiva, do you have any comments? Any?
Uh, I was just very listening very keenly, and Really mesmerizing journey. And how, yeah, really, she just kept saying yes. It was like, what amazed me was that she was an MBA, and then she said, okay, let me just try IT. And then she said, who will take me? So let me just go out and have experience of giving interviews. Wow, that's like really adventurous and really experimental, and really like taking life as a game. I feel that's what his approach is. She's just playing the game of life, very Ashwini Kumar like, just playing the game of life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I think, yeah.
Shivu, because I have seen, and I think it is even more the way she takes risks and adventures, no, is very commendable. Is something I've not seen in many women. Like I know a lot of people who cook very well in US. Like you know, Shilpa, in every group, every local community, there are these people who really cook well, right? And then what they will do is, okay, so first step is they're just cooking good, and then they're getting that applause and that potlucks and everything, right? Then some of them will decide to take a next step. They will start advertising that, okay, I'm cooking this if you want delivery, on weekend I'm cooking, or tiffin I'm cooking, or I'm cooking on weekend, or you can order this is my specialty, and that. But to take a jump to running a restaurant when everyone knows that restaurants have such turnovers, like it is like my mama, even though he's like a gold medalist engineer, he started motels, and he's like, the business that is worse than motels is a restaurant, because motel you have to look at every day. Restaurant, the one khana is bad, one dish, that's your
Yes,
end. So
that's
there is
it.
nothing as intense in business. You basically don't have. It used to be like, because even we are on vacation, he would like check the rates. What is all the motels? What are the rates going? And he's like, but worse than me is restaurant.
Yes, yes. It's a
That
24-hour job. 24-hour
the
job.
24, like you
Completely.
have to be on top of everything. One dish, one ingredient went stale, that's the end of.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
really appreciate like this sense of risk taking and adventure to go from this to this. And you've always dreamt very big. You're like, okay, this has not happened, let me,
I
I
don't
really
know,
applaud
Mansi.
you for that.
That's just me. Like, I always feel, what is there to lose? I will fail, but I'll learn something from it, right? Like, um, yeah, I'll fail. Maybe it will not work. I will learn something from it and I'll start something new. Like that's always been my approach.
Do you know who Ashwini Kumars are?
No.
Okay, so Ashwini Kumars are sons of Surya Dev.
Mm-hmm.
And they were okay. I will share you videos probably about that, but they are very dynamic. Okay, because they are sons of. So it's like the first rays of the sun, which really fills you with hope and optimism, and you are at it. You know how you feel in the morning when
Mm-hmm.
the sun comes out, and you will just there is a youthfulness also about them.
Right.
When we get older, sometimes people get jaded, people get this, but they are like ever youthful. They are supposed to have invented Chavanprash. They are supposed to have brought it to our consciousness. So they are like horse. They have like a horse. They have the quality of a horse, like very beautiful, but about horsepower. Like they can go. They have more energy than. So you probably have more energy than most people around you.
Like I said, right, I cannot sit idle, Mansi. I need to, my mind keeps
Do you also
working,
work
doing
very fast?
something.
Do you work very
Yeah,
fast? Like,
I do work very fast. And then I'll finish my work and then I'll say, okay, now I have time. Now let me think something else, that I can, like, I cannot watch a movie, like just sit and watch a movie. On the side, I will keep doing something. Maybe knitting or something, anything, just, but that's something on the side. I think that's something in me. Like I need to do a side gig has to be there,
you should connect. I'll send you more information about Ashwini Kumar, but please connect to them. You will
Yeah,
find
definitely.
them very, very much like your own energy.
Perfect. I will definitely. I'm always looking, like where and what I can do in terms of burning my energy. So definitely.
Um,
Thank you so
any
much.
more questions, comments before we close? Shilpa, the one thing that is coming to me, again, these people are not associated, like, we have no this, but we had a filmmaking class. There is Pankaj and Gargi, and they run a filmmaking uh, a filmmaking school, and we had done that for US kids. I have no work, but at least just be a kind of middle person. Like, I have known nothing, like it's their own school and they do it their own way and all. But the kids, there were about 10 to 12 kids who attended it, and in US, and like everyone had rave reviews. Even I and Ishan ended up making a small movie which will be like with me forever. So if you ever want to meet them and introduce that to Seattle, because it's a very, like, they don't know, they know, they're doing it very well in India. They're doing it in London and all also. But in US, they don't know people.
Okay.
And I'm not involved. So, but I know they have a very good thing. So if you, and because you have that kind of community, if you feel that is a good fit, maybe I can introduce you to them.
Yeah, sure.
So
Actually, it'd be nice to know.
yeah,
I know so many kids who are into these extracurricular, like and again, filmmaking, photography is something high school kids have like a legit what do you say, subject in school, like
they
which
have
is
a
a
legit subject.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so and kids pick that as an elective. So if this is something that they can connect to, and they do have assignments and what not to do, right? Like if this can be connected on that side, then I think that'll be
Yeah.
very helpful for the kids as well, learning it.
And I feel in this world, the way we are, the way everything is going now, everyone benefits from better way of seeing the world. Whether it's just making reels for yourself, or we are all looking at ourselves as brands and really how to present ourselves through media. We are doing that whether we are in media or not.
Yeah, consciously,
Constantly.
subconsciously, everybody is doing that because that's where the world is heading to right now.
Yeah.
You see that the attention span of people becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's where the reels came into picture, right? Like, okay, I can't watch a 2-minute video for a
That's too much for me.
yeah, a cooking recipe where she's showing me how to cut a ginger and how to cut a garlic, and I'm like, okay, just pick it and put it in the pot. Yeah, go, move faster. So that's where Reels came.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be the next thing beyond Reels, but once Reels came, everybody started doing Reels, like, in their some shape or form. Either you're doing with your kids, you're doing yourself, you're doing some plants, flowers around you, something or the other. So photography or filmmaking, what you say is the future.
Yeah.
Which form it takes is unknown right now, but I think it's worthwhile exploring.
Yeah. So it just came to me. This was not the plan. It just came to me. And
Yeah,
Shilpa,
no,
I hope one day you'll
definitely.
come and talk to our youth. We have several professors here, so we are associated with certain colleges in India. So I wish you will one day come and talk to them also. So
Yeah, definitely I will. I will. Let me know, Mansi, any day, like, I will take it on.
yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, for being here. We'll close the session now. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a great experience meeting all of you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
end the session now. Thank you.
Bye.
Weber, can you close the meeting?